Hello and welcome to Move the Line Prop Drop Show presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Ryan Noonan back with my friends Connor Allen, John Hyslop to talk about the best way and the most profitable way to bet on NFL football, and that is through player props. We are here live on our 4for4 Bets YouTube channel. You can find Move the Line wherever you listen to podcasts. If you are hanging out with us now, we appreciate it. Jump in the chat. Let us know what your favorite prop look is for week 3 as we continue to move on. I'll take as many questions as possible at the end of the show. We'll save some time at the end for ladders, alts, same game parlays, uncorrelated parlays, all the madness that we love to do at the very end of the show. Before you take off, make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening, YouTube, podcasts, all those things help us out a ton. I want to make sure you do not miss a show. Joining me here as always, Polo on today, fresh off the golf course, Connor Allen. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, not much. As I was mentioning to you earlier, had a really strong start to my golf day. Not so strong of an end. But I was like considering buying lottery tickets after the front part of my golf game because I was hitting the bunker and it was popping right out. Like it didn't matter what was going on. Getting the members bounce off trees, it was awesome. And then it turned out it was not so awesome after that. But it was fun while it lasted.
I think you refer to it as the front 8, which is something I never heard.
Front 8, yeah. I craft the splits to how I like it. That's
okay.
After hole 9 on was a disaster. So it's the front 8 and the back 10, not the front 9.
Okay. Slop, what's going on, baby?
Just living the dream. Just getting ready for another weekend of betting ladders. I can't get enough, dude. I can't.
Do you golf, Slop?
No, not well. I will every now and then. I don't have time though. With the kids, dude, it's impossible. Like, because you want to go on a weekend like morning or whatever, and there's no, dude. I can't pull the hey, I'm going to play golf at like 7 a.m. on a Saturday. It's like, yeah, right. That ain't gonna happen. So maybe when I get older, I will. It feels like a fun game to have, like to play. You know what I'm saying? But again, I need time.
Yeah. It's a blast. It's new to Connor, but it's improving, since he got started, which is pretty good. I mean, Connor's naturally, I'll give him a shout out. He's naturally athletic, so I'm not surprised that he's taken to it pretty quickly. So it's good. It's good. I need more golf partners. So what's that?
I said thanks, man. I appreciate that.
I mean, you play like the sport that doesn't really even count as a sport, but you're athletic at at doing it. A big soccer guy, Connor. So
we got golf is for losers, bowling is superior. I think is this one of your bowling buddies?
I don't even know Joey, but I agree with him. I'm just saying. I mean, it takes anybody can go out there and swing a golf club. It takes a real man to take a bowling ball and knock down all 10 pins over and over and over. I mean, that's a fact. I mean, look it up. People are saying in the chat. But yeah, no. I mean, I could see golf being awesome. Don't get me wrong. Like my thing is like guys are like, hey, let's just sneak out for the front 9. It's like, dude, I want all 18. Like I want to go. I want to play, dude. I'm not trying to sneak out. Like I want to be out, like doing my thing. So yeah. I'll let you know though when I take to it. It'll probably be I'm probably looking about 7 or 8 years.
Okay,
I'll be able to do that, but we'll see. Maybe less. I don't know.
Hopefully, we'll still be doing the show. So we'll be able to
we will.
Yeah.
We're going to be so rich, too. It's going to be awesome.
We'll own the course, baby.
Yeah, it'll be our course that I'll play.
We'll be building our own. I mean, yeah, that's, both games, I guess, bowling and golf, you could play for the majority of your life. So, good games, good hobbies to have. So,
and with a heater hanging out of your mouth, like Patrick said. So that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that's legit. Yeah, you could do both.
Sigs inside during bowling, is that a thing?
No, not anymore. But back in the day,
sure was.
Dude, my buddy, when I was a kid, we used to bowl. I was like the little kid league. My buddy's grandma would be in there just ripping butts, dude, like right there, like while we're like bowling. She like would drive them and then have to drive them home. So she'd just stay and just literally, she'd probably smoke a pack right there. She would have gave us one too if we would ask for it, but no, I had like the balls to ask for it. We were like 12, dude. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
electric. These are the real games. But we'll talk about football today. Again, I want to remind folks, 2 episodes of Move the Line each week. This is Prop Drop Friday. Props, as you know. Game previews, kind of look at some of our best bets in terms of size of totals and bring on a guest, Connor and myself and different folks out there in the content space that is live on Wednesday afternoons. Good guests lined up for the next couple of weeks. Excited about that. Definitely check that out if you a little bit more sides and total stuff here as well. If you want all the official plays, like we're going to put out some plays today. Everything that I'm giving out, Connor's giving out, that's going into our Discord at 4for4 for our subscribers first. These lines move pretty quickly, pretty passionate audience here, which we appreciate greatly. We also appreciate the people that support us at 4for4 as well. So the betting subscription is what you want to get. It gets you access to everything that we do on the site, articles, tools, rankings, projections. You're playing DFS, anything like that. All those things are covered in the betting subscription. You can use promo code TROPHY, get your first month for just $10. Lots of different cheap ways to get access to it. You can hit us up directly if you have any questions. But again, you want to get the betting sub, get in the Discord. That's where all the official plays. Great community. People love talking ball all the time, different bets, and yeah, absolutely love that. And we're going to fire those off first. So no stale bread. Live lines available for everyone to bet right now here. Connor, floor is yours. Kick us off week 3 with your first bet.
Yeah, I went 2-0 my overs and alts last week. But you know what? I'm not going to let that linger here. I'm starting today off with an under, and we're playing this under because the situation is a little murky. Only available at Caesars, Builder, MGM, Bet365. For some reason, DraftKings FanDuel doesn't have it, but big play to number when it reposts. I'm going with Quinn Johnston under 35.5 receiving yards. First off, Quinn Johnston was left for dead heading into the season, has played 2 good games against the Panthers and the Raiders, and now draws Joey Porter Jr. and the Steelers in a game that should, like, Justin Herbert may not even play. It's, quote, yet to be decided. If he doesn't play, this number is going to drop 10 yards. If he does play, he's going to be super banged up. I can't imagine they throw much. And we know that the Steelers love to run the ball as well. Like, they're going to be running the ton. Chargers going to be running a ton. It's going to be a slow, gross game. Like, sure, could Quinn Johnston catch 2, 3, maybe 4 balls? Yeah, but they might only go for 5-6 yards a pop. So I think that there's a lot of leeway here, and I'm not really fully buying into the QJ being viable section here. I don't know. Again, frustrating that it is not at DraftKings and FanDuel, but you can get down more at Caesars, Builder, MGM anyway. So maybe not.
No way Slop likes this. No way Slop.
Yeah, but you hate that guy, huh?
He sucks, dude. It's like,
I know.
First off, shout out Cardio King last night, KJ Osborne. 0 targets, played like every snap, under 23.5 or under 20.5, never in doubt. Like,
he's on the Patriots though, right?
Yes,
yeah.
He is on the
Patriots. I didn't even know where he was playing, but I figured he was, because I'll be honest with you, every pass catcher they had though, I don't know that was an Osborne thing as much as that was just like a Patriots offense thing, because they all sucked. Like, I watched that, they were horrible. That was probably as bad as I've ever seen them look. And I remember before they were good.
Same. Yeah.
So like, they were horrific. So all I'm saying is let's ease up on KJ.
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't have caught anything. Like they're terrible.
Yeah, it's not his fault, but I will say Demario Douglas went over his prop, and I think Jalen Pope maybe did.
I'll be honest with you. I'm just sore that Hunter Henry didn't. All right.
Were you on Henry last night?
Yeah, sorry, I had. Man. So I needed 2 more catches, and I would have been on day 5 of my ladder. Yeah, I cracked the code, the $10 to 10K. Dude, if you just start with $100, you're on day 5 after you win the first time. Yeah, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, literally take the ladder, just chop it in half, and then start start with the leg up. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, these guys, they don't. I mean,
so good,
man. I'm old school though, I guess. I don't know.
That's genius, Slop, man. Well, I'm impressed.
I had no idea until I looked at it. I was like, you know what we could do? Just a little faster.
Big math guy checking in here. That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, so I guess it's not a play that I would make either. I get why Connor likes it. So I'm probably in the middle. Like I'm not quite all the way anti like Slop is, but it's definitely not something I'm like. Connor's brain is looking for those things, right? Like,
I was just gonna say that's just Connor. I mean, it's not really anything more than that. Like, if you say there's a Connor Allen play, you know exactly what you're getting. Like, exactly. Yeah. You don't even have to imagine at all it's going to be an under. It's going to be a gross one too that you would never want to do. And he's
Skylar Thompson under. He couldn't wait till Skylar Thompson under got posted this week. He fired on that right away.
Oh, I bet.
Bad quarterback under 200 yards for sure. It's
glorious. I almost played Justin Herbert under actually too, but I was like, man, if I actually expect the Chargers might be behind for the first time all season. So they might actually have to throw 30 times, probably not like a ton, but 30 times. And Herbert's pretty good. So I don't know. I was kind of wavering on it a little bit. Instead, I'm like, you know what? They can throw it 40 times. If QJ is catching some JPJ, like, I mean, he still could go under like 20 yards. It's like, this guy sucks.
That's part of it too. Just both teams want to run the football. So, that's part of it where I can get behind the handicap, thinking that just fewer snaps in the game, fewer pass attempts in the game, both teams want to run. It makes a ton of sense. And Joey Porter Jr. is a dog. And if QJ's actually earned a little bit of like shadow coverage in the last couple of days, in the last couple of games, I guess, relative to the rest of the guys on the team, then if he gets JBJs, he's kind of dusty. So, all right, Slop, first banger for you, buddy.
If you've ever watched this show before, you know exactly what I'm about to do. It's Jameson Williams. Maybe you've heard of him. 60+ receiving yards. I got it at plus 112, but apparently there's some jamokes out there that don't like it because it's all the way up plus 130 right now at FanDuel. That's a joke.
What?
I mean, yeah, this guy's been targeted 20 times in the last 2 weeks. And he's just all over the field. He's always on the field. This isn't Jameson Williams that's just coming on the field, running, 90 yards, towards the end zone and then coming off the field. Like, he's literally on there all the time. He's getting targets. He's part of the game. Sam Laporta is not even on the team anymore because of him. Like you don't even know that guy plays for them. So the idea that you're going to say he's only getting 60+ in a game where I think the Cardinals are kind of getting disrespected because their offense is not bad. Like, I don't know if you watched them last week, but that was the Rams. I know you're down on the Rams, Noonan, but I mean, that's what you do to bad teams though, right? Like, you score 40. Like, so, to knock them for that. I mean, I think the Bills defense is pretty good, and you saw what they did to them in week 1. So this could get going. I mean, we could get like a little baby shootout. The Lions are all about that. They got the offense for it. I'm in.
Yeah. I mean, you deserve credit for beating the crap out of a bad team for sure. They're cooking. Yeah. But I mean, to not be on the side of Jamo, who's got a 50-yard reception in each of the games, like, didn't play him, not playing it officially. It's been a bat, but like 21.5 is his longest, I think, on FanDuel.
That's
he's
crazy.
He's got a 50 bomb in each game. So I think 22.5 in some other spots. It's across the board. It's out there. So Jamo longest is a play. So
I mean, it took him 3 seasons. He was too busy gambling. I get it. I respect the game. He's too busy gambling to learn how to be a real receiver. And now he's learned how to be a real receiver. And like the drag routes, the out routes, everything is just beautiful. Like, he was an absolute beast at Bama. Like, he was so good. He was just housing slants left and right. So I'm excited to see that they're using him more. And they even said this week, they're like, hey, like, not every guy's gonna be able to get 6 to 8 targets every week. Like, that just is what it is. So, I kind of think that we're going to see probably still a decent amount of Jameson, and then maybe a little more Laporta, a little squeaky wheel narrative this week too.
Yeah, I get another thought in that game later that I'm going to come out with too. Maybe, add that to our $1 million parlay. See what we can get this week.
Love
see if we
it.
can build one and get close. This is a little spicy. I got a lot of like alphas. I was telling you guys before the show, just a lot of like elite guys doing elite things this week is my thought. I was trying to hold this out, and I tried to, no offense to our Discord at 444, was trying to ignore the fact that this was brought up because I wanted to hold it out for the show because they're a great group. They're a thirsty group, and all of a sudden they can move this line before I had a shot to throw it out here. Tank Dell, over 4.5 rushing yards.
Oh, bro.
This is
Dude, it's so good.
I submitted an article a little while ago with over 5.5 at DraftKings. It's even money.
Yeah, it's even money on DraftKings.
Dude, like, they can't get him the ball. So they just hand it to him. I was like, that's genius. Yeah, because you hear all the coaches all the time, we got to find a way to get this guy the ball. And it's like, dude, I bet if you really thought about it, I bet you could figure out a way. Like, maybe just like hand it to him and let him run with it. Well, they've done that 2 weeks in a row. And I think that's a thing though, Noonan. If you watched how those plays happen, those are just like plays. Like, that wasn't a fluky thing. Like, that was just, they're going to do that. Like, that's in their repertoire. You know what I mean? Totally agree.
Yeah. I mean, 5 carries, right? Schemed up, these little end arounds. You have a depleted running back room, right? Mixon's out. Damian Pierce is out. They're going to have to find some different ways to get creative. And then you have a very aggressive blitzing defense, right? Like, you need to buy a little bit of time. They'll probably run some like jet motion sweeps with him, like to fake it before they'll get it set up a few different ways. And he's got like at least a 17-yard run in both games so far this season. So 20 plus on Caesars is 5-1. Like you can get over 10.5 on DraftKings at +2.25. Over 15.5 is 4-1.
Now you're talking. Preach.
So, yeah, I mean, just he's been right here anyway. He's been right there, and I think you're gonna see another 2 to 3 shots here. So 4.5 low bar. This is on DraftKings, MGM, and Caesars. Again, I think this is definitely a play because the threshold's so low, Connor, that alts are definitely where to go to.
Yeah, we got Steve in the chat too, saying I already hammered Dell at over 3.5 yards. I know that another guy on Twitter, DK DFS, played like over 1.5 like early in the week. I mean, that's just like such a great look. I feel like you guys are just, I mean, he's going to see 2 to 3 carries at least, maybe more. Maybe, I mean, they do the same with Debo whenever they're in running backs are injured and he sees a bunch of carries. Like, do they really want Cam Akers seeing like 15 carries here? Probably not. I mean,
no shot.
He did look pretty good, but like I just don't. I think we're going to see probably a couple end arounds to Dell. I think that makes a lot of sense here. So I played some alts 20.5. I played a little bit of 4.5 here as well.
Yeah, 19.5 is +500 at Caesars, and 29.5 is +900 right now. I would say 20 plus is in play.
20 plus is, yeah. I went to 20 plus.
Probably as high. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
30 plus would be wild.
Yes, 30 is wild. 30, he broke one. Do you know what I mean? Like you're gonna need. He broke one, but dude, the even money 6 yards. I'm telling you, he's getting it.
Yeah, like I said, it's 17-yarder in week 1, 18 last week, I think, or I have those mixed up. But yeah, I mean, again, and I think the defense thing matters too. I think with the way that Minnesota plays, I think that's you have to do. This is kind of what the Saints are doing really well. Is this like pre-snap motion and play action stuff? It's kind of hiding the offensive line. Like you see the average get off for the opposing defensive line is way behind league average. Like they're having to at least pause coming off the line. And I think that's going to be part of the game plan here to kind of mitigate the pass rush for Minnesota. So Tank Dell over 4.5, a little bit different. So Connor, back to you. What else you got, bud?
Yeah, this is actually probably one of my favorite plays of the season. So I'm willing to go on a limb here. And I think that this is just like a bad number in general. And we're going to be in hindsight and be like, this is like the craziest number ever. All right. So I'm ripping Derek Carr over 232.5 passing yards. It's FanDuel. And I'm playing over 265 is +200 at DraftKings. 295 is +475 at DraftKings. Derek Carr has 42 total dropbacks in 2 games so far. We're talking about 20 dropbacks, not even attempts, 21 dropbacks per game in 2 games. And he has like 247 and 200 passing yards against what we consider to be a pretty good Dallas defense, in week 2, and the Panthers, whatever. But again, like the point is he's had no volume. Now he's completing 76% of his passes, 11.4 yards per attempt. They're introducing a ton of motion, like what Noonan mentioned. They're max protecting when they need to. Like Shaheed has been going wild. Olave has been going wild, or could go wild in this spot. I mean, now they get the Eagles 26 in EPA per dropback, middle of the road in success rate, not getting pressure at a super high rate. They allowed 260 to Jordan Love and 241 to Kirk Cousins. Even like once Kirk Cousins settled in, like he easily marched down the field for like an 80-yard drive in the last like couple minutes there. So I think that we're going to see, like, if there's any pushback from the Eagles, Derek Carr's throwing for like 350. If there's not, then we're probably looking at like 240, 250. So I just feel like this number here, I thought we were going to see 255, 260. I mean, they're only like 2-point favorites. Like everyone is projecting this to be a game, and the Eagles defense has shown nothing to say that they're not who they were last year, despite adding a lot of talent. So I'm very much in. I just think that this is going to be like one of the lowest numbers we see all season for Derek Carr, or I'll be totally wrong and he sucks and he's Derek Carr, but I feel very good about this based on what we've seen so far.
I've never seen you this passionate about an over. So
or about Carr.
Or
Derek Carr. Yeah. What can go wrong? Right?
I mean, like an over and then Carr's like, I don't know, man. Something happened to him on that golf course. I'm telling you.
Delusional.
Man, it must have been a good, man.
That front 8,
Yeah, he's back. I mean, he came back a new man.
Front 8 really got to cook it. I mean, I have no problems with it. I think the explosive stuff for both Olave and Shaheed should be involved in our $1 million stuff today.
Yes.
Like I have so many plays that I like today. So I they didn't make the cut, but like they're on my list. Like, so they might actually make the cut in some form later. I don't know how to play them yet because I didn't drill down, but I'm in on all of it. So mixing this into 232 is a pretty low threshold. So you make a good case. Eagles D, 29th in yards per play, or yards per drive, and points per drive so far this season. So they're not getting it done. Saints could cook him here. So, or at least, make this a back and forth, which I think is kind of what you're hoping for, right? So, Slop, what do you think?
I like it a lot because it ties into my next bet a lot.
What do we got? Let's hear it.
I went with, I'm trying to get a updated line because I almost gave out some stale bread a minute ago, but I'm making sure 122. Hang on, I'm almost there, boys. Yep, we're good. Chris Olave, 70+ receiving yards, plus 122. He only caught 4 balls last week, went 81 yards. They didn't even need him in week 1. That was the Panthers. So, like, this number should not exist, like, at plus money at least. Like, I think it should be one tier up, like 80, probably in this range would feel smarter if I was the book. But, man, 70 is not enough because they haven't been challenged. And I got to be honest with you, like, after what they just did to the Cowboys, they're probably on notice now. They put everybody on notice. So I bet the Eagles do show up. I bet the Eagles score points on them. I don't know if the Eagles are going to win, but I'm saying they can kind of keep them going in the second half instead of sitting guys down or just, running the ball for the rest of the time. The Saints are a problem. They're good. And Chris Olave, his separation's good. All those, like, advanced metrics lead to him going for like 100+ a few times. You know what I mean? He's not just a 70+ guy. Like, he's 100+. So 70+ at plus money to me is crazy in an environment that he should be in, especially if Slade follows him around, because Slade's been horrible.
Yeah.
Like, awful. So, I mean, I don't know. This is great. I mean, I love seeing 70 at plus money. That's crazy to me.
I love it. Guys, talking to Connor early in the week, and I thought I would have Olave on the show as a play for sure. So, and look, it's been such a narrow target tree, and just offensively, what they're doing. If you like the Carr play, you have to be in on some of the Shaheed and Olave stuff too, because it's a very condensed unit, and it all correlates. So we like the uncorrelated stuff too, but just same game parlay, boom, like
a target branch. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even like a tree, dude. It's just like 2 guys, 3 guys, maybe. That's it.
Yeah, I love it. So I'm going to get down on some of that, and we can figure out a way to do that as well.
We'll build this $1 million parlay. Definitely going to need a Carr, Olave in there. Also, before you drop, well, I'll let you go first. So we'll talk about the alts later. No. Well, it's just an alt note. Go for it.
Yeah, I got a bunch of alt notes for sure. I love this one too. I'm not going to make the conviction that Connor had is like favorite play of the year, because this is a little bit, these are a little bit harder. You got the alphas being really good. I think we're getting a discount here on CeeDee Lamb because of the ankle stuff. I'm going to play CeeDee Lamb over 81.5 receiving yards. If you have Bet Rivers, this is 79.5. This has moved actually recently on Caesars. It was 79.5 as well. Readily available across the market, 80.5, 83.5 everywhere. Absolutely fine. Part of it here too is, again, like I know that he's been on the injury report. Again, they cannot run the football. Cowboys are second fewest yards over expectation on the ground so far this season. Zeke Elliott does not have a run over 10 yards. He's not broken a tackle this season. Rico Dowell is not any better so far, and they're splitting carries with the both, and it's bad. And the Ravens, they're kind of struggling defensively, but the one thing they are doing is they are leading the league in success rate against the run so far this season. So Dallas has one path to moving the football, and it is CeeDee Lamb. And again, he's going to cook him. The Ravens D has allowed a 68.5% success rate to opposing slot receivers this season. Lamb has run the 4th highest rate of slot routes in the league. They've also given up the 2nd highest rate of explosive plays behind the Commanders so far this season too, in passing games. So, and like double the explosive rate that they were giving up last year. So we can ladder this up to 100+ on Caesars at plus 180, plus 150+, which he did 3 weeks in a row last year, by the way. Like, I think 5 times last year he topped 150. That's 9-1. So I'm going to play The over as is 79.5, 81.5, whatever. I'm going to play partial units at 100 plus, and then just a little sprinkle at 150 here. I think CeeDee Lamb absolutely goes off in this game against the Ravens. What do you got, Connor? Any thoughts?
No, I like it. I feel like we haven't just seen a ceiling game out of him. It was really weird. What did he have, like 60 yards in the first drive last week, or like first half? Maybe it was maybe 80 yards, and then just didn't do anything. It's so strange. So, I mean, yeah, I like it. I think selling this Ravens defense and finding ways to do that is pretty sharp. I mean, last year Lamb's number was routinely like high 80s in like not good matchups, just like neutral ones. And I think, you had some good matchup notes here. So I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I think you cooked some slop. What do you think?
Oh, I love it. I love anything CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to get to that point where, the rubber kind of hits the road for them and they just sell out and find him. That's kind of what happened last year. I can't remember what it was like last year about him. I don't know if it was AJ Brown or him, but one of them started going nuts first and then the other one started going nuts. You could tell they were almost like feeding into like, we got to get him, whatever. So I don't know. The Cowboys are into that kind of thing. They will do that.
Yeah,
it's like who they are.
48-point total in this game. They can't run the ball. It's not going to be Jalen Tolbert or Brandon Cooks. Like, it's going to be CeeDee Lamb. Like, is what they're going to do. They'll probably be frustratingly running the football inefficiently in the first half. And then I think we just see CD cook. I agree with Patrick. Like, Lamb should be in the 90s pretty much every week. I think part of the discount here is the ankle, right? The practice report stuff. So no doubt that he's full go, and he's gonna be awesome. I have another part of that game too. Maybe we'll save that here. Connor, what else you got? What else you want to do?
Honestly, I don't have. Those are the two big plays that I had here. I'm toying with a couple other ones that I'm looking at, but nothing else official. But I did want to make a note on the alts before we dive in. So there's a guy who. So every week, usually Dalton Cates and I will play like these round robins, right? And then one of our subs and a guy in his Discord sent us a screenshot. He does the same thing on FanDuel, but round robins like all of them, and like puts like 15 on there, and like just round robins like all of them for like really low dollar amounts. And if you hit like, if you hit like 5 or 6, like you're in like an insane spot. And so I'm going to play our $1 million parlay, and then I might try and find a way to like round robin it as well. So if we hit like a couple legs, then we can get there. But I thought that was kind of fun. And like DraftKings doesn't let you do that all the time because it doesn't let you round robin stuff from the same game. It only lets you do one play per game. FanDuel lets you do multiple plays per game. So we can do like Carr, Olave in one game. And then like, I don't know, a little bit more correlation, which I guess is somewhat priced in, but I don't know, still kind of fun.
Yeah. A note I got for that is, all right, so I've been dabbling in how am I going to win $1 million on it. So here's what it is. I've narrowed it down to a bunch of same game parlays, and you treat those as like they're dingers. You know what I mean? So this same leg parlay is plus 550 or whatever. And now you're just going, down the line, and how many do you need? Like probably 6, and you should be in the range of like $20 to get $1 million. And the thing, what you do, like you said about the correlation, Connor, is I don't know that FanDuel, I think they give you like a little boost if you take two guys from this on the same team, like receiving or whatever. Take one guy's yards, one guy's receptions, and it doesn't dock you. I if anything, I think like you might get a little boost from it. So there is that. So we haven't crafted it yet, or perfected it yet, I should say. But that's coming. That's definitely coming. I think we're on the right track to win $1 million. Like in the first week, we were like plus 950 stuff for like a single guy. Not sure that's the way. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. But I think I like what you're talking about. The same gamers. That's the way.
Yeah. It's all about breaking the pricing algorithms, not to get too nerdy, but who is it? Matthew Davidow or someone like quote tweeted the anti-correlation parlays that have been going around a little bit more on Twitter. And was like, this is the best way to break the pricing algorithm, which is like, they wrote a book recently called Interception, which is a great book for any sports bettor who's like interested. Just talks about like how to beat the books, essentially, of like, well, if this is what they believe, then like all of these numbers are going to probably be off, stuff like that. So good book. Would definitely recommend it. Read that and thought it was really interesting. And it's led me to some other ideas, including round robining and trying to find plays that could make sense.
Reading books, playing golf. I like it.
Look at this guy.
I'm gonna change. I'm entering my 30s pretty soon, so I got to start, like figuring life out beyond.
I can't believe you're not in your 30s yet, dude. That's crazy.
Sometimes I can't either. It's like I don't.
You're wise beyond your years. That's what it is.
Oh man, appreciate that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, here Slop and I are call us out, but we're comfortably in our 40s, I believe.
Oh
Slop.
yeah.
So
we're
yeah.
Both feet are in the 40s.
I'm not comfortable saying pushing 50 because that's still a bridge too far.
It's
but
fine. I'm getting there. Hey,
Yeah.
word of advice, if you want to stay young, just shave the head. That'll give you a little bit more time. I'm telling you. That's what's happening to all my friends. They're not shaving their heads, and the hair is giving them away bad.
Yeah, it's coming. I mean, we're pretty close here, so we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. We lost Daigle. There was only so many bald guys with beards that could go around at 4 for 4.
Yep.
I was not going to join him and Paulson in the same vein. So now without Daigle, maybe I'd consider it.
Good company.
Hey, look, I got 15 years on Connor, but my lettuce game is strong.
Okay, that's good. What I'm saying though, Ryan, is all of a sudden the lettuce game's not strong anymore. It just happens overnight, dude.
Yeah.
These guys. That's what's happening to these guys. I'm telling you, it's like, whoa, like bro, like you look like 10 years older now. It's like just shave your head.
Yeah.
That's your only way out, man.
Yeah, I mean, my lettuce looks like it's been like sitting out on the counter for about a couple of years at this point. So yeah, I mean,
you're good. Yeah, but all right. So
good.
Ryan, yep, you're a prime example. What's gonna happen when you go gray?
I'm gonna let it go gray.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, but dude, I'm telling you, that's 10 years right there.
Yeah,
that's crazy, bro. Like whenever, all right, so when my hair grows out, like I mean, it doesn't really grow out much, like not on top at all, but on the sides, like you can see it's gray. It's like, oh my god, dude, I look like at least 10 years older right now.
Well, what am I trying to do? My wife is 10 years younger than me. She's significantly more attractive than I am. I already have her. She really likes me.
Yeah. And she's locked in because you're married.
She's locked in. Yeah. So I'm gonna look older soon enough, but we'll be okay. We'll let the grays come in. I don't know.
Okay.
Grays are here a little bit.
I like it. Yeah, when my face too, when it starts growing, you're like, Jesus, John, like you are fucking way past your prime, dude.
So advice of the day, shave your head before it gets too gone. I appreciate that. That's some good advice there.
That happened when I was like 23 though, Connor. I started losing my hair way too young. I was like, oh shoot, what am I gonna do? So I'll just shave it. And it worked. It worked.
Enough to get married and pop out some kids, right?
Yeah, I made it. Look at me now.
You did it, everybody. Man, where do I want to go? I got a few different thoughts. So many different plays. I got everyone in the chat in our 4 for 4 looking for a tackle prop. So I'm going to give out the tackle prop here real quick to our folks here. See, this has moved a little bit, which makes sense. This should not. This is like again. I'm not going to promise anything is going to win, but this is a very bad line, and I'm finding fewer and fewer really bad lines on the tackle side, like trying to sneak some stuff out injury wise, and the books are they're on it these days. So a little bit quicker, but I got a couple sacks that I like. I'm going to mention those first. Some I haven't posted yet. I want Trey Hendrickson on Monday Night Football, defensive end for the Bengals up against Jane Daniels and the Commanders. Jane Daniels just still like sacks, came into the league with one of the highest collegiate pressure to sack rates in recent memory. And that's followed him in the league, still basically right in line with what he did in college. Hendricks is like quick pressure rate. I mean, pressure's under 3 seconds, best in the league. His pass rush, we have this like pass rush get off metric now, thanks to Next Gen Stats, which is awesome. Second in the league behind Myles Garrett. He's probably going to be posted at like a full sack, so like over 0.75 sacks. Fine with it. He's going to get home, probably looking at multiple sacks. So if I could find multi sacks somehow, I'd want to get into that. But tackle prop for everyone right now. Rams Niners game. This is available on DraftKings. This is available on Caesars. We're going to play Troy Reeder, linebacker for the Rams, over 6.5 tackles and assists. He is playing the every down linebacker role for the Rams, 8 tackles in each of the first 2 starts. Rams are touchdown dogs at home against a Niners club that I think runs the football all over them here with Jordan Mason. There's going to be a lot of that here. This season, opposing linebacker rooms are averaging 19.5 tackles and assists per game against the Niners, which is about 10.5% more than league average. Reader's the only linebacker that's on the field for more than 75% of the snaps, so he's going to be getting plenty of opportunities. And we have one of the best home scorekeeper setups in the entire league. The Rams home scorekeeper, second in the league in assists rate last year. 52.3% of the tackle opportunities had an assist. There are only two teams north of 50%, and they've been above 47% for the last 3 straight years. So feel pretty good about like the consistency here with the scorekeeper. It's about 5% above league average. So I have Reader like 8.5, a little over 8.5. So we're getting 6.5 at plus money, or we were, because that's probably cooked already. So absolute banger on Troy Reader, plus money for the Rams. So get that one.
Love it. Ripped
Love
it. Loaded it up mid-show. Whenever you say you got a good tackle prop ready for the show, I'm already in. You know, I'm like,
it's a good one. I sat and I'm like, this is not going to stay at plus 120, because it was plus 120 for like 10 minutes just before we started. And and they just removed Reader on DK. Yeah, I mean, that's how tackle props go. They'll come back, but again, like I haven't projected for 8.5, so it's going to come back. If you can get 7.5 plus money, still play that. I'm very comfortable with that. The projections I have them like 8.6, so it's going to cook.
This is great. I'm not getting roasted in the chat on YouTube, and I'm getting absolutely shredded in our Discord right now for the whole hair thing and being young. So this is good. But it's all right. I guess they view that as more of a safe space than roasting me in public, I guess. But either way, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, look, you've held off a little bit. I thought by now you probably would have been there already. So like, it's held off. So like, good for you. Whatever's happened, whatever you've been doing has worked a little bit. You'll get there. Another guy, you're married. You're all right. You're set up,
Yeah, exactly. I thought about flying out to Turkey, get the little hair transplants. You seen ads for that yet? I mean, that shit looks like it works like magic. So, I mean, like, I don't know what they've been targeting me with, but I'm like ready to fucking fly the next flight over there. Maybe if we win a milli parlay, I'll go over there. It's not too expensive, but I'm not looking to drop too much on getting a hair transplant. That might not even work. So, and I know my wife will love me no matter what. Hopefully, if I'm divorced by next year, then, I take that back.
Yeah. Anytime you can leave the country for a medical procedure, you got to do it. Right. I mean,
yep.
That's, I think, just the rule of thumb.
Correct.
Yeah. Plus Turkey. I mean, what can go wrong, right? Jonathan, maybe we don't want to publicly roast the guy who helps make us money. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate that. It's good guy. Good guy.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's not how the chat works. So, all right, we got a lot of time. We got about 20 minutes or so left. I got a bunch of plays, but I think we can add some stuff to. Maybe I save some of it, or maybe we add. I might have to push out one more because I'm going to end up adding it to some of our alt stuff. But where do we want to build here? We want to build a milli parlay. Talk about some ladders. Talk about some alts. You can do this on Caesars, FanDuel. Start to build out some big stuff here.
I got one.
Yeah, what do you got?
Start us off, Slop.
What's Greg Dortch? I know I took him last week. Wrong opponent. That was my bad. Guess what? We got the right opponent this time. All right. So he caught 2 passes. That game was over before he even caught one. I mean, I don't even know why he was still out there, but whatever. We're moving on. He's catching at least 4 passes this week, and there's a ladder opportunity that I think you could go to the top because his number 7 at the most, and that's plus 700. I'm sorry, at FanDuel. I'm not sure of the others, but I know
we'll build it at FanDuel for now.
Okay.
I mean, just so that way the people can get on it, and then we'll rip it at DraftKings as well. Keep the show sponsor happy. I mean, I think.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I love DraftKings too. Big DraftKings guy. Shout out you guys. Nice work. But
So do you want 6 for plus 400 or 7 for plus 700, we have 50 plus yards at plus 300?
I don't love the yards.
Okay.
I think that they're gonna do like who was it? Godwin last week, just annihilate them out of the slot, and then the week before I think it was Cooper Kupp. It was what we were talking about earlier. It was like, dude, the guy had like 5 catches for like 12 yards. You know what I mean? Like there was literally that's just how they wanted to move the ball against the Lions. So
yeah.
I think it's kind of a copycat league in that sense. And at the same time, I think Kyler likes Dortch. Like they're like friends. So he only caught 2 balls last week. And that was because I think Marvin Harrison they were talking about him not getting the ball the week before. So I think like you got that kind of thing going on. So the matchup's perfect. We should get, plenty of passing. They're probably have to keep up. And then at the same time, we got the like little guy narrative. So we're good.
I like it.
Kyler's not very tall, and neither is Dortch. So
No,
they're
not very.
strong together. You know what I mean?
The short man connection, it's short kings only. It's short king season week 3 here against the Lions. Week in the slot, it could make sense. I could get there. A lot of man coverage from the Lions too, which Dortch can get open. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed. What do you want to
Cover
rip?
1 and cover 3, I think is what I saw. Am I wrong or right? Detroit.
Yeah, they'll mix in a decent amount of man here and there as well. So sometimes that's a cover 1 look. We're just with the man. So it depends on what they want to do in the back end, but they're not afraid to blitz with man behind it too, which is pretty nice. So I don't know. I have another play that's there, and I don't know if it's like a competitor, but I think it's in the same vein because I like Trey McBride over 5.5 receptions.
Dude, all right, Ryan, let me stop you. This is what I'm talking about. Watch. So when you build it, watch, you're going to get a pretty good number when you put both of those together.
So what do we how many receptions do we want for McBride? 8?
Yeah,
7?
I'm playing over 5.5 at plus 115, which I think is
well, just do 6 right now and just see what it is. You know what I mean?
All right. Let me see here. I'm loading it up. All right. We got, I'm seeing minus 102 on FanDuel. Yeah. So the midi same game parlay is plus 823 for 6 receptions for Dortch and 5.5, over 5.5 for McBride. So yeah. I mean, it's pretty solid odds. Like,
that's good. I mean, 800. That's crazy.
Yeah. So we just need them both to catch 6 balls.
I think that'll happen.
Yeah.
Dortch did it week 1 against Buffalo. He caught 6, but I don't know. I don't think McBride got his.
No, we had 5 week 1 and then 6 last week, and he barely played in the 4th.
Dude, so Dortch 6 week 1. McBride got targeted 9 times, only caught 5 of them. So if he catches 1 more of those, your plus 800 just hit. And like I said, the environment's right for it.
Totally.
But this was your pick, though, so I'll let you explain it, Ryan.
Yeah, I considered Dortch too because part of it was when I saw it was like Lions, slot versus the Lions. But then I looked and I was surprised. McBride's run 43% of his routes from the slot, so they're not using him a ton in line. So like they can use McBride in the same way that they can use Dortch to kind of cook the Lions in the slot. And just think about this game. I think it correlates well with Connor played under rushing yards for James Conner this week, and like this is a really good run defense for the Lions. Like they're going to try to run with James Conner. I don't think they have a lot of success. And this game's got like a 52-point total. The path for the ball to move on the Arizona side is a lot of Kyler dropbacks. And like, I think there's enough room for all these guys to cook a little bit. So 15 targets on the season. He's like top 10 in the league in target share, not even like tight ends, but just across the board, pushing like 30% target share. So love McBride here. Love getting the plus money. FanDuel was like off market with their like minus 102, whereas everyone else was a plus money, but still makes sense in our parlay here to build out. So yeah, I think there's a sense for all these guys and enough room for Harrison, Dortch, and McBride to all cook.
Do we just throw in James Conner to catch 2 balls?
Yeah.
I mean, why would he not catch 2?
David Montgomery scored a touchdown in like 8 of 9 games. Like, is David Montgomery not scoring a touchdown here? Like, I hate touchdown bets. Connor knows that, but like,
yeah, me too.
Some sort of something on the back end here. JMO.
Yeah. Do we want a JMO props? What did you say, Slop? The first one? I don't even remember. 100?
40 plus, 50 plus yards. I mean, if you want to we need to get higher, then we could go probably 70 or 80 plus.
We'll go 80 plus 270. That's looking good. We're getting pretty close here. I added a bunch of other stuff we talked about as well. Just like threw it in there. Carr 300, Olave 100. Then we got our Dortch, McBride, Jameson mini, which is 32 to 1. And then added CD 125 plus. And then I want to go to touch on Monday Night Football. The Commanders Bengals game I think is pretty interesting. There's 2 that I think I like there. I like Brian Robinson alts if the game is close. We just watched the Bengals let up 120 yards in week 1 and then like 90 to Pacheco or whatever in week 2. Like as long as the Commanders can keep it somewhat close for a little bit, not even the whole game, like half the game, we're looking at Brian Robinson probably seeing 12 to 15 carries and probably ripping, again, 70, 80 yards against this Bengals defensive front, which is so bad. So I think that one's interesting, 80+ yards. And then Burrow, I mean, against the secondary, getting T. Higgins back probably with Jamar Chase playing a little bit better, I think. And Andre Yoshivas just being there when they need him, and Gesicki's played really well too. So, I mean, this secondary is so bad. So 325 for Burrow, Brian Robinson 80. I mean, we're already at, I don't even know what this number is, but we only need to win $1 million. We only need to put down $50 right now. So we need we don't need that much more. That's my point.
I got two more. I got two more I like a lot.
I mean, we could probably go there. But I mean, we could probably go to the Eagle. Well, we're already at the Eagles Saints, right? What about Texans Vikings?
Yeah,
sure. I mean, what do you got from there?
What do you got, Ryan?
Well, I got another side of the CD Lamb play.
Okay, perfect. All right.
This might actually boost it a little bit too. And considering just firing this one too, Zay Flowers over 54.5 receiving yards. Best number I think is on DraftKings. Dallas is playing zone at one of the highest rates in the league, about 81% with Zimmer there so far. If you look at splits career-wise, Zay Flowers averaging about 1 full yard more per route run against zone than man coverage for his career. This guy's got 10 targets in both games so far this season. I don't think this is any different. So 100 plus for Zay is 5-1, 7+ receptions, plus 210. I did a Zay 100 plus and CD 150 plus parlay, just those two legs. Ooh. 55-1 on Caesars.
Yeah, that's cooking.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm trying to figure out Isaiah Likely. How much do I like him in that one? But Zay Flowers is an obvious, he's going to be involved.
Yeah, 10+ targets both games, 7 for 91 last week, even when they were coming from ahead for a little bit. So, and the A dot was up last week. The week before it was a bunch of just behind the yard, behind the line stuff. Last week they pushed it downfield with him a little bit more.
Do you think that the Cowboys show up?
I don't know what to make of that game, man. To be honest,
no idea.
I don't think any team can run the football very well. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you see teams, if they're good teams, at least early in the season, when they get smoked like that, they show up the next day. So that you want that, you know what I mean? Because now, because it's not the Ravens aren't just going to show up. They just had a shit loss too. So, that's a good game and I don't think either one is good defensively, or as good as they have been or whatever. I think that they can be had, both of them. So that could end up, approaching that 47.5 total, which is kind of high. I didn't expect it to be that high. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Legs from that game is not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think those are the two. I mean, if you could sell me if someone has a case for one of the tight ends for Baltimore for sure, but man, I think CD and Zay Flowers are cooking.
I like Flowers receptions.
Yeah, 7+ plus 210. I like a lot.
Yeah, that seems like the way.
All right, let's rip that instead here. I'll add that to the queue. We're coming along nicely here.
Drew in the chats, Troy Reuters back up on DraftKings. I'm guessing that's still at 6.5 minus 135. Yeah. Or just let the chat carry it to 7.5 and then hammer 7.5 when it gets to plus 115 or whatever. I don't know. However you like to lay juice, but happy with Reader still.
Brian brought up a good angle here too. Lamar Jackson rushing yards. He takes things into his own hands, needing this game after the 0-2 start. Dude, what is Dallas's man rate this year?
Super low.
Super low, right? They're not playing because they shifted defensive coordinators. So, maybe loses some appeal there. We're seeing 53.5. Obviously, you can still run against zone, but when you have guys playing man, turning their backs, we've always talked about that. Anecdotally, is making sense. And I think ETR did a study in the offseason that's actually true. Based on the stats, the numbers, that actually matters. So, I mean, I still like it. I just don't know if maybe he has 100-something yard rushing upside in this game. Yeah,
probably longest because you could see him breaking one. Because I imagine Micah Parsons has a day and collapses that pocket on him 1 or 2 times pretty quickly, and he has to kind of create because he has no other shot at doing anything else. So that would probably be the way I would want to play Lamar if you had a lean there. Would be longest, just one shot. It's never dead till it's over, till the game's over. So
yeah, those are always fun. Yeah. What about Justice Hill from that game? Receptions.
Let's see. What's he been doing?
He's not at FanDuel. They're only going to give us yards, which I do not take with running backs. But I don't mind whenever they throw a 1.5 at you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, two catches. But I mean, I don't think it's going to be Henry.
I think it correlates well with a Dallas win. If you like Dallas, because like 6 targets in week 1, just 2 targets last week. But
they played that from ahead, though. That's a
right.
misleading score. Like that game was definitely they were about to run out the clock with Henry, and then they fucking lost, dude.
Yeah, that's my point. If you like Dallas,
but Hill, man, like that Justice Hill, if they throw a 1.5 at you, it's a free parlay leg. Because I mean, come on.
I don't know what's going on right now, but I've just been watching our SGP odds just like tick down, like it went from like I haven't added anything or taken anything away, but it's like went from like 500,000, 450. Now we're down to like 411,000 on $10. I'm like, what's going on here? The chat is just going off right now, I guess. Apparently, blasting the numbers. So
that's awesome.
What do we want to add Justice Hill 25 plus yards is plus 270 or no?
No, we want receptions. And we don't have. I didn't know we didn't have them until just now. I think he can get 25. Don't get me wrong, but I think the play, if you're going to play him, to say he's going to catch 2 or 3 balls, I think that's the way.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, I don't know. Like, because, dude, those running backs, you've watched football. Like, dude, they get slammed on the ground on some screen and, like, -5. And you're like, dude, I'm dead. Like, that. My 25 yards is now 30, and it's never going to happen. But then Jamoke sitting next to you with 2 receptions is going nuts because he only needs 1. And you just wish you were that guy. I think that's what's going to happen.
Looks like it's available on DraftKings.
Okay, so what about 3 plus? Is that there, Hill or C-Mac?
Yeah, that's the question. I don't think
3 plus. I mean, you can't do the -180. I didn't think it was going to be -180.
That's rich.
But still, 3 plus doesn't feel like it's a problem. Again, they were never in a situation where they had to throw the ball to Justice Hill in that Raiders game. Like, never. And he caught 2.
Yeah.
So there is that. But do we know if the Cowboys are even – is that what you would do against them? Like throw it to the running back?
That's also another thing that I think is probably better first man, but I don't know.
I'm looking now. Yeah, so 14 targets in 2 games to the running backs, 10 receptions, 110 yards given up. There's only been 2 other teams have given up more yards more yards in the receiving game to the running back than the Cowboys. So
110 is quite a bit in 2 games.
Yeah, that ain't good. Like, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Trust still. Put me on that. I'll die on that hill. Get it.
Love it. DraftKings doesn't do all receptions per CMAC, but yeah, it makes sense for sure.
We'll get some before Sunday.
Yeah, we will for sure.
So 100%. Him and Zay, if you like the Cowboys, that's him and Zay Flowers receptions are probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one more leg that we can spice into. You got 2?
Cool.
You got 2?
Well, I have 2 more like notes, like
okay.
/ potential legs, and I think I know one of yours. Let's hear yours first. I think we're on the same page.
All right. I don't think this doesn't feel like a Connor Allen play.
Is it DJ Moore or no?
No, I like DJ Moore though. Go cook with DJ Moore.
All right. I thought DJ Moore 100+ yards. Keenan looks like he's out again. We're seeing this Gus Bradley, Indianapolis Colts defense play, just a lot of zone, a lot of cover 3. Like, I think this is like a fantastic bounce back spot here for Caleb and the Bears offense here. So he should see 10+ targets in a game against a bunch of bums for the Colts secondary. I think Caleb Alter in play too, to be honest, if you want. But
yeah, I like that a lot. A friend of the show played the under. Respect the friends. Just slightly disagree a little bit with the play. I think it's a good spot for DJ Moore. So, yeah, I like that quite a bit. So I was going to go Bijan. I was looking at Bijan longest, but then the more I looked at it, I'm like, oh no, Bijan just can grind down here against the Chiefs here, Sunday night game. So you can play Bijan over 72.5 rushing yards. I think there's some 71.5 out there too. Falcons are averaging 2.2 yards before contact per carry. It's one of the best in the league. It's up massively over last year. The Chiefs run D, dead last in rushing success rate, about 20% above league average, like 60% rushing success rate against the Chiefs so far this season. They have not given up a ton of explosives though. And that's kind of how I figured this out and got there. But the second lowest stuff rate in the league. So like guys have room to operate. And then you have Bijan breaking tackles like a machine. He's averaging 5.16 yards per carry. He's averaging 82.5 rushing yards per game. So we need him to finish, I don't know, 9 yards below his like average and still hit for us. So I think you can get it to 100 plus, but 72.5 for Bijan, I think is a great look and another leg that I like quite a bit.
See, this is what I hate about building these parlays is that FanDuel has things that DraftKings doesn't. DraftKings has things that FanDuel doesn't. And then Caesars has things that neither of them have. But very few times do they have all of them. And then DraftKings is the most, but won't even let me get like 5 cents down on some stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like that whole combination sucks. So like there's no Bijan alts for some reason right now. I don't know. 72.5 rushing yards is out. First quarter rushing yards is out. They don't have anything else. It's very strange.
I like 72.5 rushing yards for sure.
But I will say, well, I mean, we're already at, let's see here. We're already at like $5 to win $1 million. So I don't think it's that bad. 593. I mean, we can add one more. I'm not opposed to it, but I feel like we're in a pretty good spot.
What about, I'm trying to think who told me about this. I think it was either Tommy G or Dead Prez on the Thunderdome.
Did Tommy G kill the dead Prez, or is that
No. They're both alive and well. Tommy G is definitely alive. Yeah, he's about as alive as you can get. But Adam Thielen, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I thought someone would have it. Yeah, it's 4.5 plus money, right, for his receptions.
Yeah, he likes him with Dalton like a lot.
Yeah,
like that's the hill he wants to die on.
Yeah, it's a pretty small sample theater with just like one game that we're all kind of clutching on there. I don't know. I mean, is Deontay just as viable, right? Like, I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, well, both of them 3.5 in the like 160s at FanDuel, but both of them 5+. I mean, those lines are not out yet, so we can't do that.
Yeah,
so
they're not even at FanDuel.
Like, damn it, dude, give me an alt line. But that's a situation where how do you price that if you're a book? Like, really? Like, you haven't seen Dalton play any meaningful football in a while. You haven't seen Thielen with Deontay Johnson, and all you have seen is just them with Bryce Young throwing to him. So none of this, like, and then it's the Raiders on the other side. Like, they're not, like, are they good? Are they bad? Like, what, like, you probably know they're bad, but like, how bad? So, yeah, how do you price that, you know? And I think Dalton will be decent. Dare I say, you know, like not good, not horrific. Let's just go with not horrific. I bet you he's not horrific.
Can you book that, Connor? Can you add not horrific to the parlay?
Yeah.
Yes.
So as long as he's not horrific.
See, I was like in the boat of like, you know, I love taking bad quarterbacks unders, and I was not ready to take Andy Dalton under. If anything, actually, I saw he popped on Pick'em platforms at 192 passing yards, and I was like, this isn't over. Like, I'm like, you know, he can throw for 200 passing yards. Like, he's capable. Now his actual line is like 215 now. So, you know, we lost that number, but at 190, I was interested.
Last thing I have in general is in that game would be another side of that is, I think, again, Alpha's cooking this week is Devontae. Carolina's the only team that's like, well, not the only team, but like they are still playing single high safety more than almost anyone else in the league. And historically, Devontae has absolutely destroyed single high safeties. Nice week last week. I think it's a great spot for him too. So you can get 100 plus. I think is like plus 360 on Caesars. I don't know what it is on FanDuel. It didn't look there. I don't even know if it's out on FanDuel. But yeah, I think Devontae eats for sure.
Just randomly no alts this week. I don't know what's going on. Like half the games just don't have alts.
We'll get some. I'm telling you, I mean, maybe I'm right. I think it's receptions because we're getting alt receiving yards. We're not getting alt receptions on certain people. And I know I'm a conspiracy theorist in that regard, where it's like they kind of want to find out where everybody's at. You know what I mean? Like people that bet on Friday, they want to find out where they're at with these people's alt receiving yards. I think those have been suppressed so far this season. So they'll let you go in on them, and then here's his alt receptions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm dead wrong, but I like to think that that's what's happening.
I get there though. I understand the thought process there.
Mhm.
They got to feel it out. They want to see if they post a number and it gets hammered in the first hour. They probably feel like they
Yep.
did something wrong.
No, because the guys that are betting on Friday are not the same guys betting on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like it's just so those are not the guys you want to find out about. You know what I mean? Or you don't want to find out from them that your reception props sucked.
Correct.
Or your reception number sucked. I'm sorry.
Yeah, especially on Sunday if you've lifted a little bit of the money that we can get down there to your limits. But yeah, the Friday guys, that's us, right? You'd be scared of us.
They should be.
Yeah, they should be scared of us. All right, so I'll run through it. I think we'll just stick with what we have, unless you guys have any last legs here. We got Derek Carr 300 plus, Chris Olave 100 plus, Greg Dortch 6 receptions, McBride over 5.5, Jameson 80 plus, CeeDee Lamb 125 plus, Zay Flowers 7 receptions, Brian Robinson 80 plus rushing, Joe Burrow 325 plus, DJ Moore 100 plus receiving yards, $5.93 to win $1 million. Why not us?
Dude, that could happen. I mean, I know I'm forever an optimist, but like that could happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've made the Dortch play. I don't think I've made the I haven't made the Carr stuff yet, and I did not make anything Joe Burrow. But it's like the worst secondary in the league. So like, again, I can get there for sure. This is hot. This is good. I like it.
I don't know. I just feel like it's way better than a scratch off will ever be for me, at least, like entertainment wise. You know what I mean?
More fun
go $5 and get a milli. And then when you look at it, because like everybody's seen these giant parlay tickets, right? That does not look the same as one I've seen, because most of the time you look at it and you're like, dude, how the hell did that guy hit that? You know what I mean? It's like, dude, what a lucky move. And then what I just heard Connor doesn't seem like one of those tickets. It just seems like, I mean, obviously there's a lot to happen, but it doesn't seem impossible like most of the ones you see on Twitter.
Yeah. Bunch of first touchdown props. Like,
yeah, no, like the 2 first baskets in there from NBA, then a couple first touchdowns. You know what I mean? Some random, like a punt return guy. You know, it's like, dude, how the hell did that hit? This is not that. That's all I'm saying.
Yep, I agree.
And I'm gonna round robin all of them anyways. So I'm putting another $50 in to win another 30 grand on the 3s, 4s, and 5s. It's an extra.
For the turkey
an extra 170 wagers total that are being made. And I put 25 cents on some of the other ones. So we'll see what happens. I just placed 166 bets at once. So that'll be fun. I'm sure that I'm gonna get the little pop-up from FanDuel.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
You've been here for this long and you've wagered 175 times or whatever. Like it'll be something like that. But hey, we're in it. I'll see you guys next week when we're all rich. So
can't wait.
I can't wait.
We might have to cancel the show because
we had a really good run as pours, dude.
Really but well, I think really as a pour, I think I did pretty well. But I'm happy to move into a different. Start going to some of these weddings that Connor's going to, like the Waldorf and like golfing on a Friday afternoon instead of working. Like I'm ready to transition.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I said, I mean, I don't have a problem being a pour, but I want to see what the other guys are doing. They look like they're having fun too.
What did that one guy say? It was like, I chose rich or something like that.
Choose rich.
Like, yeah, choose rich.
That guy's hilarious, dude.
It's so funny.
NFT Nick, I think.
Yeah,
rich.
Yeah, I think Portnoy and Barstool interviewed him a couple times after. Just what a goofball. But
that guy's a nut, man. I laugh every time I watch one of those videos, though. They're the most ridiculous things you'll ever see in your life, dude.
100%. Now also C-Mac added Dortch now on the injury report. So he saw our parlay and he's playing
good.
Yeah, he's playing a little loosey-goosey out there, and it'll be fine. It'll be all right.
No, they're playing the game. That's how you know he's about to go off. I say we move him to 7. Point taken. I got you, coach.
So good.
So good. I appreciate everyone hanging out with us. Hopefully you all win millions of dollars with us this week. We can how fun would it be to shut down a sports book, because
dude, you joke, but I think about that like all the time, like at least 2 times a day. But how hilarious would it be for them just to be like, their pockets out, you know what I mean, on the cover of like People or Time or something, bro? It's like we don't know what the hell just happened.
Yeah,
Like
we have to go.
DraftKings just doesn't exist anymore. It's like, yeah, we're done, guys.
We have to testify in front of like a Senate House committee or something like that, or something like that to figure out.
Sending
Like,
people to kill you. It's like, dude, like we were just gambling, man. Like, sorry,
yeah,
playing around.
Yeah, sorry, we got to go to DC to get our cash. Find out what happened here, where the bylaws can.
I'm just glad we have these videos
things.
so they'll know we had nothing, no inside stuff. Like, dude, we're a bunch of idiots just making a milli parlay, dude. Sorry, guys. You know what I mean? Like, we're just hanging out on a Friday one day, and that was what happened
with our friends. We appreciate all the friends hanging out as well. Again, before you take off, subscribe, thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to Move Line on the podcast feed. All those things go a long way. We appreciate it very much. We didn't get to your question today. I apologize for pushing a little bit of time, but hopefully you understand. Just saving some time to build, trying to help you win $1 million, guys. Okay, so don't be so mad we didn't answer your question about the Browns running backs. I apologize. So hopefully we'll get to it next week. Or subscribe to 4for4. Jump into Discord. We'll handle all that for you anytime you tag us. So for Connor and Slop, I'm Ryan. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks, everyone.